So, welcome everyone. Good afternoon to you all. This is Mora, your host for today from Rueda Machinery and Equipment Company. This day we are here in Dongguan Rueda factory here in Dongguan City, where these machines are being manufactured. And the machine right behind me is the Octopus screen printing machine. This is the 3-color 10 station. It is together with a digital printer, but first let us talk about this Octopus screen printing machine. Now for this one, let's begin with the start button, and then we'll talk about some of the main parts of this machine. So let me just turn it off. It is coming up. So the first thing that pops up once this machine has been turned on is the language option, which means this machine can be used in different languages. We have the Chinese language, this is English, Arabic, Vietnamese language, this is Spanish, this is Russian, French, and then the Portuguese. So for this time, we're going to take a look at the English language. So you click on the English language button and then enter. So this is the home page, the first page we see once this machine is being turned on. Click on the home page here. For here, we set things like the printing head off and on. We set the printing times, the mode of printing. So you make all this print sequence over here before proceeding to the next part. So this is here we have our advanced settings. That is for the owner of the machine. You can have your passwords here and then your logos being installed on this part as well. This is cancel button. This is for the detection for anything that is happening in the machine. You can see it over here. This is speed settings and then alarm records. Apart from that, we have individual control panels on this machine. We have individual control panels on this machine. And this here is the individual control panel I'm talking about. So after having your print sequence on the main central control panel, we use the individual control panel here to also make adjustment. That is if you want to do that. We have a micro registration screw handle here. We have the screen clamp over here. And then this head, this handle here is used for lifting up the head. That is in case you want to have your screen being cleaned or you want to have your screen taped, you can use this handle in lifting up this head. This machine consists of several motors. Each head has a servo motor of 400 watts. This is the servo motor here. This is the head. So each head has a servo motor of 400 watts, and the machine in general has a servo motor of 2.3 kilowatts. This is your square G carriage. Here we have our float bars and then our square Gs over here. And then we have something again, that is the foot pedal. You can use this foot pedal in controlling the pace of the machine. This foot pedal is used in controlling the pace of the machine. So today, we are going to be combining the digital printer and the Octopus screen printing machine together. So come over this way. The first thing in doing that, we need to make sure that this table, in doing that, we need to make sure that this table is properly positioned. It is well balanced. And then we use this infrared. We use this infrared here in making sure that it has a proper balanced position. That is the first thing we do in setting up this whole process. If there is some discrepancies here, it won't be okay for the printing. So this infrared is used in setting that balance. So we are here talking about the digital printer, and it is actually a combination between this and this. That is the digital printer and the Octopus screen printing machine. Now, the first thing to do when bringing this machine here is that you have to we have something called the y-axis, we have the x-axis, and then we have the z-axis. Now, the y-axis has, this is the y-axis. Come a bit closer. This is the y-axis. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is the x-axis. I'm sorry about that. This is the x-axis. And then this is the y-axis. This is the y-axis. For the x-axis, it has to be the table. This table here has to be in the middle of the x-axis. This table for the Octopus screen printing machine has to be in the middle of the x-axis. And the height has to be 106 from the table. That is the height of this. Okay, let us show you. The height has to be 106 millimeters from the table. From the table. 106 mm from the table. That is the distance from the x-axis down to the pallet of the Octopus screen printing machine. After that, we also have to adjust the z-axis, the Z motor manually. That is for this whole head to move to this side. To adjust. We have to adjust it manually. And then move it that way. This is the adjustment of the z-axis, and then we have all the angles. The angles cannot be over 1 millimeter for each angle. Each angle here cannot be over 1 millimeter. 1 mm. So we're still having the adjustment for the Z motor. Each angle cannot be over 1 millimeter. So that is what we're doing at the moment. Each angle cannot be over 1 millimeter. This is a combination of the digital printer with the Octopus screen printing machine. And we are setting it manually first before we do the automatic one. Each of the 4 angles on the pallet must not be over 1 mm. That is from that panel down to the table. Each of these angles must not be over 1 mm. Yep. Okay. The height of the leg. Then here we put this to have a stable height, because without this the printing may go the wrong way. So we have to raise it up for the testing for now. And afterwards, and this part, this here, right here, is the location part. It must be 20 cm from this body. Here must be 20 cm from this body. The location part below must be 20 cm from the body. So we're still setting it manually before we're going to do the automatic settings. Yeah, the location, yeah. Yeah, the location must be 20 cm from the body of the digital printer down there, below. So now to turn, right? So after now, we'll turn on the digital printer with this button at the top. So when you turn it on, the head goes back automatically. It consists of 4 heads. The part here consists of four printing heads or cards. So now we're going to talk about this part. The first part is for the adjust. Okay. So one thing I didn't mention is that the head moving down to this part, must have a little space here. The head must have a little space in between. To have a balance. That is good inside, right? Yeah. So this is the space I'm talking about. This space must be here to have a balance over here. Without this, it may have some issues. It is very, very important. Okay. Okay. And then you come here. So the next part is to turn on the machine. You can turn on the machine, and that's what we're going to do next, to turn on the machine. Okay, it is already turned on. It's already turned on. And then it is already turned on now. So it moves back to the position where it was once it is being turned on. It goes back to the first position where it was automatically. And then these buttons here are not highlighted. Okay, now they are up now, meaning everything is okay, and then we can start the operation. These are the operating buttons right in front of the screen. So this is our image. So we select on this image to start up the print sequence. We select on this image over here. Apart from that, we have 3 main sectors in this machine. We have the y-axis, like I mentioned earlier. We have the x-axis, and then we have the z-axis. This is y-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis, and this is the z-axis. So the y-axis, you can use this for the direction for the y-axis, the left and then the right, the left and then the right for the x-axis. It is going to move left and right. So that is, it went right. That was right. If you click on the left, it will come back to the way it was. Then the y-axis is for, yeah, Y. It's for back and then forward. So it's moving backward now, and then click on it, it comes back forward for the Y axis. Then the Z is for the up and down. Then the Z is for the up and down. So that is for the Z. That is for the Z axis. And then click on the X again to return it back to the way it was. Exactly. So these are the main operating buttons on this machine right in front here. Moving on to the next part is the task settings. Moving on, okay. This is for the moving up, and then Z axis for the up and down. It's coming down again. So this is for the task settings for whatever you want to have done on your print. You can use this whole part in making those settings and adjustments. First of all, we have the pass. It depends the pass button, the pass area. If you click on it, you can change it to either 3 to 2 to 8 and then so on. Then here we have the page 1. This part here. The page button is for the number of images. The minimum is 1 and the maximum it can get to 1,000 or even 5,000. That is for the maximum image that you want to print. And then here for the S page is the number of image you want to print over here for the S page. Then this is for the spacing of the imaging. This is for the spacing. The Y axis is for the numbers as well, and this is for the spacing for the Y axis as well. Then here we have the reverse. The reverse is for it's to change the direction of the image. The reverse, once you click on it, it's going to change the direction of the image, either 360 or 180 degrees. Then we also have the mirror. Coming down here, we have the REO enable. The REO enable is for screenshots. So if you want to have just a particular part screenshotted, you can click on this button for the REO. You click on this button and then you make your adjustments for the screenshots. Maybe you want to print just this part, you can use that, click on it and then adjust it. Once you start adjusting it, the width and the height starts to increase over here. So that is the function of that REO enable. Then coming here to the margin settings in task. Here we have if you want to have the printing for the margin adjusted, mainly it is 200 mm. So you have to start from here to this part for the x-axis for the 200 to be 200 mm, and then from here up to this part as well. Then coming to this other side, we also have the same measurement, which is 200 millimeters, from here to this part as well. That is for, and the same thing happens here as well. The same size for each of the angles from this axis to this axis. That is the x-axis here, and then the y-axis down here. We also have something else here, which is the enclosure color bar in task. This is for how you want to print. If you want a simple printing, if you want it to get if you want it to get, if you want another, oh, sorry. So this is for the enclosure color bar in task. This one means simple, this is normal, this is enhanced, and then it gets even tougher. So normally we use the simple one. So you just click on the simple, and then This is the percentage. If you want it to get higher, you can increase it, but 20% is okay for now. And after this whole settings, you click on save. You click on save and then you click on print. Once you click on print, it moves, you can see. And then you click on, there's a button here which actually makes it work now. You click on this button and then it starts the printing process. And then you start the printing process. So, all right. The next, okay, I think we're done with here. The next part is the print settings. Normally, this part is automatic. Like it doesn't really need much settings for this part, but we'll focus more on this other side. This part is automatic. It doesn't really need much settings since it's already okay. And then here, this part here. This is for the heads. This is head 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all the heads must have the same measurement. They must be the same way in order to have a stable printing. And then here, this is for auto clean. The depth is off at the moment, and the auto clean works in a way whereby if you're printing, it cleans automatically after 123 seconds. So after 1 to 3 seconds, it cleans automatically, and then that is the function of the auto clean. Then the standby clean cleans when you are not using the machine after 500 seconds. That is the function of the standby clean. Cleans when you're not using the machine. Maybe the machine is just on its own, and then the standby clean works automatically. That is the function of the standby cleaning. The next part is the adjust settings. This one, the material here is the M1 there. After your customizations, after your styling, you can have them saved on either M1 or M2 or M3. Maybe next time you want to have a different custom, you want to customize something else, you can have it saved on M2 or M3. So it depends on how you want it. It can be fast, middle, or slow, but normally fast is okay. That is how it works. That is how it works. And then the head, like I mentioned, they must all be equal. The head 1, 2, 3, and 4, they must all have the same measurement. The head 1, 2, 3, and 4 must all have the same measurement and styling. Then this part actually changes once you start making changes over here. That is when this part starts to change. But for this time, we're not doing that because all is already okay. Then this part, the system settings. The system settings, this secret key, is for the seller. That is in case the agreement between the seller and the buyer has not been reached. There will be a password here, and once it has been, the buyer has finally made a complete payment of the machine, the password would be released. But this is the part for the secret key and then the password of the machine. Between the seller and the buyer, they will have that agreement on what to do about it. So that is the function of this main system settings. The machine, this digital printer has a weight of 500 kg. That is the weight of this machine, 500 kg. So it is at the moment, it is a combination between this one and the Octopus screen printing machine, giving us a hybrid. So that is it for the moment. That is it for the moment. If you have questions, reach out to us and we would get in touch with you. So now we are going to connect this machine, that is the Octopus screen printing machine, to the digital printer. But the first thing we need to do is to turn off this machine because there's some power on it. So we turn off this one. It's turned off, and then we come this way to where we have the cables. So this is the cable for the Octopus screen printing machine over here. This is the cable for the Octopus screen printing machine. So we're going to just take it over to the other side. Let's lose it. And then take it over to the other side, to where the digital printer is. So here, this is the part where we're going to connect it to, this part here over here. This is the one for the digital printer. It's already connected here. So now we're going to connect it to this whole socket. This is from the digital printer. So we'll lose this part first, and then this one goes in. And then tighten it back. What number is this again? This is This is X37, so it goes in this way, S37. The next one is OV goes to the other side. That is the opposite direction of the X37. OV goes to the opposite direction of the X37. And then tighten it back. And the next one is to place it back. This one, no, but this one. Which one? Which one is that? What number? So this one here, the yellow one goes into this pot, and then the green one goes in on the second part. The yellow one gets to this first point, and then the green one, the green cable gets to the other one. So now it is connected to the digital printer. It is now connected to the digital printer. So this is the green, it comes here. The yellow cable comes here. And then connected the S37 cable, which is the brown one, over here, while the the OV gets on the opposite side of it, connected to the digital printer. So now the next thing we do is to turn it on. The next thing we'll do is to turn on the digital printer. And then we also turn on the Octopus screen printing machine. And then we turn on the Octopus screen printing machine. So it is now turned on.
Full the printer. Yeah, this is the printer switch. This way. Off. On.
So this is the switch for the digital printer. This off and on button over here. So this is off and this is on. And yep. So now it is connected. The Octopus screen printing machine has been connected to the digital printer. The next part is start. Start the machine. Okay, yeah, so to start to print. We already spoke about this part, so just to save language. Where is it? Okay, now we're going to change the language from Chinese. It's in Chinese at the moment. We're going to change the language from Chinese to English. We change the language from Chinese to English. We first put in the password and then click OK and then go to where the language option is, which is this part here. And then we click on this button and change it to English over here. And then the OK button. Once that is done, you click on cancel and then reopen it. So it has now been changed to English language. So we'll wait for it to come up and then these blue buttons will pop up. Once it's popped up like this, we know that we're ready to print. We know we are ready to print. And yep. So we select our file. As usual, this is the file we're assuming that we're taking the print on. We click on the number of print that we want, and then we'll make all the adjustments on this page. If we want a screenshot, we'll click on here to get a screenshot of what we want. And after that, we'll click on the save button, click on print over here, and you see it responds down there in the box. Now, to start the main printing, there is this button over here. To start the main printing, we'll click on this button, the print button. Now, that is it. And then we'll click on the auto run of the Octopus screen printing machine because we're actually using both machines. So now it is printing now. Assuming that it's printing, that is how it works. Once plate gets inside that area, it prints. The digital screen printer prints on the material or the fabric, and then the other plate moves in again. It is as easy as that. Very easy to use. So guys, what? Pause? Pause? So if you want to pause, if you want to pause this, you just click on the pause button here. Just click on the pause button here, and then the machine pauses. Like the way I just clicked on it right now. So it is paused. You can see it's not moving again at the moment. The pause button, since we connected the Octopus screen printing machine to the digital screen printer, so the pause button actually works on both. Once you pause this one also responds. That is the way it works. Once you pause the Octopus screen printing machine, the digital printer also pauses. And once you play it, like click remove from pause button, it starts to work again as usual. It starts to work again. You click on the pause button again and then click on auto run. It comes back to the print that it was having earlier on. So this is a combination of the digital printer and the Octopus screen printing machine, giving us a hybrid printing. So if you have inquiries, do reach out to us if there's something you want to know about this machine.